Hi and welcome to Everyday Vlogging with Rich Pasini. Today is March 21st, 2019. Thank you for tuning in. I just want to start off by saying thank you to all the new subscribers who recently subscribed to my channel. It is greatly appreciated. Hope you like the content and hope you come back for more. Today I want to talk about benefits of having a home-based business and how fake reviews could hurt your online business. That's coming up. Stick around. Okay, the first story I want to talk to you about deals with Frugal for Less. Now, if you guys ain't familiar with this here, it's a really good website. It gives good pointers on saving money and how to make money and so on and so forth. You might want to check it out. Let me give you the URL. It's frugalforless.com. And they have different categories here: make money, save money, apps and websites, frugal travel, psychology of money. They got the best survey sites. You could start a blog. You could contact them. You could read about them. You could also have a private policy. And it says join our mailing list to find out more ways to make and save money with little time and effort. Just drop your email address in there, hit that subscribe button, and you are good to go. Now, I'm not going to expand too much on this. I'm going to kind of skip up ahead of this part here. I'm just going to read up here and then touch bases on some of the highlights. Okay, so it says many people will give you statistics about the risk involved with starting your own business. However, when you look at the issue more closely, it becomes clear that there are also a lot of financial benefits involved with operating your own company. It goes over here to say the most important ones, including building the assets within yourself. You're a valuable commodity, a financial tool, if you will, and will increase your net worth on a daily basis. Whoops, it always happens every now and then. This happens. Okay, it says over here, and you will increase your net worth on a daily basis when you go into the business for yourself. But the first thing you need to be aware of, the operating business can be rather difficult at a time. It's also important to realize that it does not make financial sense for everybody. However, if you have enough determination, then there are many financial advantages waiting for you. Creating your own company is a daring thing to do and will take you out of your comfort zone. And ain't that the truth? If this sort of thing seems exciting to you, then why wait any longer? You're obviously ready to make the move and become a leader of your new business endeavor. And it goes on to say here, it involves an enormous amount of work as well as a large number of risk, but the possibilities reaping financial rewards are huge. First thing is, the highlighted one, number one, invest in yourself as an asset. Okay, I'm just going to read the highlights here, guys. You could read the rest of this. That's why I gave you the URL. If I didn't, I'm sorry. I'll give it to you now. It's frugalforless.com. Okay, you could check it out for yourself. Here's another key feature to it. It's having the ability to work from home. One of the most obvious and practical financial benefits that gain immediately when you're going into going into business for yourself is that you have the option to work from home. It's also important to realize that operating your business from your home gives you flexibility, and this is hard to acquire when you have to worry about the cost of an office building. The cost for commercial property includes the following: insurance, electricity, heat, water, phone, office supplies, cleaning, maintenance, trash. So that's one of the abilities of work. That's one of the pros as far as that part, working from home, right? You could save all that money on that stuff. The other one is earn as much as you can. Well, we all know a business, it does have it's an up and down thing. I mean, you could be making $500 on one day, and the next day you can be making $50. It depends It depends what kind of business you got, and what you're selling to. That's a lot of there are variables with it, but it can be rewarding if you get the right niche, I should say. It could be beneficial to you guys. But it goes on to say earn as much as you can. Another financial benefit of owning your own business is the ability to make unlimited amounts of income. Unlike most other jobs, your salary is not capped. Your salary is not capped. You control how much money you want to make. Well, I would like to make $1 million a year, but I don't think that's going to happen anytime soon. Do you want to raise? If so, work harder. Find your business opportunities, or both. When you own your own company, you can keep getting everything you earn. Well, that's true, all right, in some cases, but don't forget now you got to pay taxes on the money you owe, and so on and so forth, right? There's always a little stipulation with that part. But then it goes on to say no commute time means more time for work. Most Americans spend between 40 and 60 minutes every day going to work. That's true. That is absolutely true. And yes, it does take some time off, out of your busy day. Not having to drive to work saves you money, avoiding additional costs and accumulate when you're constantly driving your car every day. There are extra costs include oil, gas, tires, and engine repair. Well, depends on how far you work too. Make more money with more than one income stream. I'm just going to keep going because there's 16 of these here, folks. I don't want to keep expanding on each one of them. You are free to test out your own business ideas. That's true. You have nobody to answer to but yourself. You keep everything. Okay. Networking opportunities. Entrepreneurs thrive by having more opportunities to connect with and interact with others. That's so true, right? Use social media. I do it all the time, every day. Another one here, you can sell your business. Now, I guess when you get to a stage where you want to retire, if you don't have any family members to, grandfather it into, you could just get ready to sell the business. Here's another one here. You have many tax deductions. That's true. That's true. That's definitely a plus right there. And let's see, you may lose your clients, but you'll never lose your job. So, like some of us. Financial benefits for women. Having the ability to work work at night or in the morning is perfect for women who have to take care of the children. So you see that's there too. That's a good thing. Email and smartphones let you stay connected with your clients at any time during the night or day. Well, if it's like 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, I think I'd rather you pass on calling me. I want to get a good night's sleep. Let's see, we got here. You could achieve financial independence. True. If your business is making it, yes, you can. You are in control of your life. Another true part. And you create your own reality. Even though you still have to do a lot of hard work, there is nobody continually looking over your shoulder. That's true. That's another true. And this one here, number 16, the prestige leads to financial advantages. By being a leader in charge of your own destiny, you will have more prestige among your peers as your business continues to grow and succeed. And then you got the final thoughts. You could check them out if you wish. Okay, so you know where it is. You know the URL. Very good site. I love this site. I check it out all the time. I get emails from them pretty much almost on a daily basis, if I'm not mistaken. Very good information you get here, and it's called Frugal for Less. Never pay 100%. Check it out. Sign up for it. Get the emails. What do you got to lose? Okay. Well, the next thing is feedback. Now, this is my feedback. This is me. Shop RJ Pasini for great deals. We all love feedback. We all love good feedback. I like reading good stuff. All right. I mean, I'm not. You're probably thinking, what's the segue? I have another window open up, so we're going to get to it in a second. But maintaining 100% is very hard. It's very hard on eBay because you never know if you're going to get a disgruntled, buyer that may not like what they got, or the item is not as described, or whatever, and so on and so forth. And when you get that little ding on there, it stays on for the whole year. Eventually it falls off. But like this one in here, great packaging, item exactly as described, fair shipping. These are the things that people look for. Good packaging, item is exactly as described, and fair shipping. Just in this little feedback right here alone tells me that these are the things that people are looking for. All right. I mean, to me, this is important. Packaging is number one because if you package it bad, you're going to get a bad review, right? You're going to get a negative feedback if the thing arrives broken and damaged because it was not packed correctly. Item exactly as described. Absolutely, folks. If you want to, get a good, you want to keep your customers happy. Make sure you describe it exactly the way it is. I mean, sometimes we make mistakes. Sometimes we might forget. Not intentionally, it happens accidentally. All right, so always make sure that's described. And buyers love fair shipping. They love this. They love fair shipping. This is a good one. Fast response, arrived early, great condition, thanks. These are just some of the things that people, by me looking at my own feedback, it gives me an idea of what people like. What do they like about my service? So that's very important. It plays a very important role. So you guys, I'm not going to read all of these here. I'm not saying I have tons of them, but it's very important that you have a good thing. Here's a great seller, would recommend. One item arrived just fine, thanks. Packed well, thanks. Perfect. I recommend this seller. Love it. Great seller. A+. Great seller, fast shipping. All right, we're not going to read the whole thing here. I'm not leading into a segue to give any, do a little segue on myself and how good I am or whatever. I'm just trying to use as an example that feedback is very important. And feedbacks are reviews as well too. But also the most important thing is getting a 5-star rating. Okay, if you're going to sell on eBay, folks, if you are new to selling on eBay, this is what you want. You want to get 5 stars all across, item as described, communication, shipping time, shipping and handling charges, charges, right? Whatever, all five here, okay? You want to get 5-star rating. Now, we'll talk about reviews. Now, you might say, well, what does feedback and reviews have to do with it? It's almost the same thing to me, you know. The reason I'm bringing feedback into play is because I don't know about you, but if I go to a seller and I look and see if they got a lot of negatives versus they got more negatives than positives, I'm going to stay away from those sellers. That's just me. No offense to sellers. That's just me. This one here, how fake reviews manipulate you online. Now, I know reviews are very important on eBay and and Amazon, especially Amazon. Like it says over here, this story was posted today, March 21st, 2019. And it goes on to say over here, fake reviews are everywhere online, and they're probably influenced some of your purchases. Fake reviews can be a positive or negative, and they're obviously unethical and harmful. But there is a symptom of a large problem with e-commerce and online platforms. Reviews are worth their weight in gold. See right here, folks? Right here. Are worth your weight in gold. It's true. If you're a company and you're selling a product or an item and somebody's writing bad reviews about it, most likely, unless the person says, well, I have to check it out for myself. In some cases, people are like that. But if you're going to get ready to buy an item, now I know myself, okay, I'm speaking for myself too. If I'm going to buy something, I'm going to do reviews on it. I'm going to do my research and reviews on it as well. I want to see what the people have to say about it. That matter of fact, even when I'm buying something off of Walmart, like I was looking for time for a toaster or whatever, and I was pricing them. Needless to say, the frugal entrepreneur here bought the cheapest toaster there was. The toaster was only a $10 toaster, not even $10. And I know people might say, oh man, that's really cheap. But look, I look at it. I want a toaster that's going to toast. I don't need a $200 or $300 toaster. I'm not interested in that. All I want is a toaster that toasts. But anyway, we're not here to talk about my toaster purchase. I went on Walmart and I was looking at the reviews for this particular toaster. And it got a lot of nice reviews. It got more reviews. Let's say, out of looking at it, maybe the first 10 or whatever, 10 or 15 of them, there might have been one that might have not been too happy with it. It wasn't a bad one, but it wasn't one like they praised it. Everybody else gave it 5 stars. And even though you say, yeah, but it's a $10 toaster, so even if you did buy it, even if they did have like some negative reviews and you bought it, it wouldn't have made a big deal. Well, to me it does. To me it does. So anyway, yeah, did I buy the toaster based on the reviews? Absolutely. Absolutely. Now, if that toaster had more negative reviews than positive, goodbye. I just pass right over it and go somewhere else. Or I'll buy a different toaster, whatever. Maybe fork out an extra $10 or $15 and buy one for maybe $20 or $30. But I don't really need to buy an expensive toaster. But I'm using it as an example, which is the truth, though. That's how I bought it. I based it on that there. As you can see here, let's see here. What I read? I read that part there, or did I skip? Okay. Over here it says, I don't know if I read this. I'll reread it again. In other words, e-commerce reviews the best signs for success or failure. One batch of good reviews shows the product has sold well and that people enjoy it. But it's more than just a review, and it's the ultimate form of advertisement. Businesses that have good reviews get a lot of free exposure on websites like Amazon and Yelp. Products and pages that have good reviews show up on the top of the search results. They are suggested to users based on the interest, and they're even sent out in email campaigns or marked with labels like Amazon's Choice. Okay, and it goes on to say here, and while the exposure does not guarantee sales, good reviews do. Okay, according to Bright Local study, 84% of the people trust online reviews. Right here, folks, 84% trust online reviews as much as they trust friends. Okay, that's an incredible statistic because it suggests that the poorly written 50-word review by a stranger can hold as much clout as a positive recommendation from someone that you trust. Essentially, the exposure of the clout of that business gets good from good reviews, create a powerful e-commerce formula. Okay, And then it goes on to say here, who writes these fake reviews anyway? Robots or AI don't do any of the majority of the fake reviews. Actually, people do, which makes sense. I mean, what was it? Is a robot going to walk into Walmart and say, "Hey, I picked this new laptop up and it stinks. It doesn't work." You know what I'm saying? Robots ain't going to walk in. It's actual people who do. It turns out that websites like Amazon are pretty good at catching bot activity, and it helps that most of the bot-written reviews stick out like a sore thumb. There are even websites like FakeSpot. I didn't know about FakeSpot, and that can catch an AI written reviews. I'm gonna have to check into that. There, FakeSpot. I didn't know about that. Yeah, but it goes on and it's got some other stuff here. Now, then it goes on to say freelance. Then it goes freelance websites facilitate fake reviews. These freelance websites aren't lawless wastelands. They have the rules, they have the moderators, and they are totally above the board. But oddly enough, fake review jobs don't always violate the terms and service or of service on some of these websites. Okay, I'm not going to expand too much on the topic. I think you got the gist of it. It is very important. Okay, it's very important. Like I said again, when it comes to eBay feedbacks and reviews, they can make or break you, and they can hurt a business. Now, I know and with eBay, they do have reviews there. Like if you go to a website and you're looking up a specific item, there are other buyers out there, buyers that will go on your listings or whatever, your eBay listings, and if they purchase from you, they will leave a review. Reviews are very important. But let me just bump out of here really quick. Let's see if we can get out of this here. Well, there you have it, folks. I wanted to share that information with you guys out there. And for those who are looking to jump into the e-commerce platform, you're thinking about starting your own business, check out Frugal for Less. Read those 16 reasons to, I guess, get involved with the business. You might want to digress on some of that there. Also, in regards to the feedback and fake reviews there, it's very important in this type of business, especially e-commerce. Like I said again, I do base all my buying purchases off of reviews and feedback. When I buy stuff off of eBay, when I do, which is very little, I have to admit, I will buy the basic things I buy off of eBay. In case you guys want to know, if you're curious, I usually buy toner cartridges for my laser printer, and I buy the color cartridges for my all-in-one HP. They're both HP printers. Before I buy from them, I will buy any toner cartridge, ink cartridge. I know you might say they're very inexpensive. I mean, and they are inexpensive. I will go to that seller and look and see what their feedback score is. Now, a lot of people say, I heard from other people saying, oh, feedback's no big thing. It doesn't mean nothing. People don't really care about feedback. Well, some people like myself, I do. It means a lot to me. And I look at it as feedback as a review. Now, I know they don't have they do have reviews on eBay, but I always jump right to the feedback. And I want to see if they have a lot of negatives. I want to click on the negative part. And once you click on the negatives, it'll give you the whole list of why these people are unhappy. Why do you have unhappy buyers? I want to know why. Do they neglect answering questions to the buyer? Does the seller give refunds? Is the seller arrogant? Are they nasty? Whatever. What's the most common complaint? And within that seller's listings, they're like, he gets a lot of bad rep for whatever reason, like a lot of bad negativity. Why is it? And I'll base it off of that, because I don't want to go through. I don't want to simulate the same thing those people are going through. If someone's saying, "Oh yeah, well," and then people will start saying things they shouldn't. Beware of the seller, bad seller. I wouldn't do business with the seller. I mean, you don't want to go that extreme. You don't want to condemn the person. All you want to do, if you're going to leave, if something's wrong, and I would expect it to happen with me as well, you want to leave a negative feedback for whatever reason. If it's the item is not as described, or if it arrived damaged, I would say this. If I was the buyer and I had a situation like that, I am not poised to leave negative feedbacks to people. Okay? If I bought something from somebody, I'm going to contact the buyer directly. Not, I'll do it through the eBay messaging system, whatever. and I'll contact that. I'm not going to broadcast it by leaving a feedback so the whole world could see it. I don't, this is not like the Hall of Shame. You don't want to shame a seller because of something they did either. I know it might sound like, oh, you're contradicting yourself. One minute you're reading about the feedbacks. No, it's not a contradiction. I'm just trying to say, I mean, to me personally, I don't want to, go that route. I don't want to sit there and, make all these derogatory statements to the buyer. I mean, some of the negative feedback, I mean, people like a real outright, down and dirty with that. I wouldn't buy with this person. This person's nasty, arrogant, this, that, this, everything. I'd rather communicate with the seller. That's how I would do it. I don't want to sit there and badmouth people and leave it. First off, the feedback is not going to be there indefinite anyway. It comes off within a year. It drops off. So that's number one. But the thing is, for a whole year, if you get people like me that do check feedbacks, that's going to be there for a whole year. And people are going to see that negative feedback. Okay? So, whether it's a big thing or not, it doesn't, people say, it doesn't make a difference. I don't care if I have, I bought people, I may get people like my comments say, I bought things off of sellers that had a 95 or 97% feedback. It don't bother me. I take well, it's okay. I mean, look, to each his own. You know what I'm saying? I mean, to each his own. That's totally up to you. And I'm not bad-mouthing. And if there are sellers out there with a lower, that they don't have 100% feedback, or if it's lower, it doesn't necessarily mean they're bad sellers. Maybe the buyer has buyer remorse too. I had a couple of situations like that where I would say I had listings up there, and I had to call up eBay to rectify it, where a buyer bought something, and after they got it, they said that they opened up a case and said items not subscribed. And I contacted the buyer. I contacted eBay. Said, "What do you mean items not subscribed?" I said, "I got everything written down here in detail. What more could they say?" So then, like eBay would tell you, the teammate would say, "Well, if you want to fight it, to call, you can contact the buyer and see what they want, if they want to remove it, whatever." I did have a situation where I did have a negative on there, and the buyer ended up removing it because later on they realized, oh, I made a mistake. All right, I'll give you an example. For instance, I sold something to one of the buyers. I can't remember, because when you sell enough, well, I don't sell a lot, but going back, I think it was last year, I sold something to somebody, and I don't remember if it was an electronic thing or whatever it was. And the person, instead of leaving a nice positive feedback, they went into the negative, and they put the positive in there, something along that line. And I contacted the buyer. I said, "Geez," I said, "you didn't even give me a chance to respond to Oh, that's right." He goes, "Oh no, received the item. This is it. Received the item. Not happy with it," or something like that. I'm not happy with it, or something along that line. So he put that in a negative. Wasn't a neutral. This guy jumped right to negative. Didn't even give me an opportunity to respond. So I messaged the buyer, and I said, "Excuse me." I messaged back to him. I said, I offer free returns and money back guarantee on the items. I go, "I don't know why you had to jump right away and leave me a negative feedback." I said, "You didn't even give me a chance to respond to you." I said, give me at least give me the benefit of the doubt, So the person, I sent it to the person maybe an hour later. Well, this was like I said last year, and the person goes, "Oh my gosh," he goes, "I didn't mean to say that there." He goes, "I'll take it. I'll remove it." The thing is, some people are spontaneous, and I catch myself doing that too, folks. Sometimes I get spontaneous, like I right away jump conclusions and stuff. I think, "Oh well, this is what happened. This person did that, whatever." And the thing is, when it comes to this type of business, try to keep an open head, clear mind. If you're very upset, if you are a buyer that receives something that was not to your liking, not as described, or maybe the right damage, or wasn't to whatever, what you thought it would be, whatever, before you get on that, I even heard Griff say it on eBay Radio, if you're going to get like that, step away from the computer, compose your thoughts, take a few deep breaths. When you feel relaxed, come back. Because if you're going to do it, if you're going to be really mad, and you're all fired up, you are going to blast that person, that buyer, that seller, with bad stuff. You're going to say things that you're going to regret later on. You say, "Oh, I shouldn't have done it." But you can get it removed. If you're the person leaving the negative feedback, you can remove it. But just try to compose yourself, and stuff, and just think about what you're doing before you leave that negative feedback. Now, in my descriptions, I always say, please, before leaving a negative feedback, please contact me, because I'm always willing to work with my buyers, which I am. I will always work with my buyers. And I offer free money back guarantee. So if there should be no reason for anybody to leave a negative feedback. All right, you might say, yeah, but all right, so you're offering all that there, but let's say the buyer gets that item and they say it's not as described because maybe on my own behalf, I might have forgot something, I overlooked something, and they said, well, it's not as described. Again, you could always reach out to the buyer and say, look, I apologize, I didn't know it was an oversight, I didn't see the little thing had a scratch or a little dent on it. I'm willing to refund you. I offer free money back guarantee. Would you be kind enough to please remove the negative feedback from me? I'd greatly appreciate it. After all, I am, you are going to get your money back, right? I can understand if a seller doesn't respond to a buyer's wants or whatever or concerns. That I can understand. You say buyer's arrogant. The seller's arrogant. He doesn't respond, doesn't pay. I've seen things like that. Oh my gosh! And these people had thousands and thousands. They made thousands of sales. Thousands of sales. And I would read the negative feedbacks, and the things that would really bother people, that irked them, is one was the seller never communicated with them, had poor communication with them. Okay. Number two, when the buyer asked for a refund, the people are saying, I asked for a refund, I'm still waiting. Another one was, yes, you get items not as described. The seller sent me the wrong item. All right, this could happen if you got a multitude of items that you sell. If you're selling thousands upon thousands of items or hundreds of items, you're bound to send the wrong thing to people. It could happen. It could. It depends how you got your warehouse or however you have your place of business set up. If it's not like if you're mixing things up, you got maybe one's off by you got a product ID number and it's off by one digit or whatever, or maybe when it was input into the system, they put the wrong product ID in there and you sent it out innocently, not purposely, innocently. You're not trying to get over on people. You want to provide a good service. So the point I'm getting across is, folks, is when it comes to reviews, yes, reviews are very important, and I think a lot of people don't realize that. They think like the same thing with eBay feedback. Feedback. Who cares about feedback? I don't mean maybe make a big thing of feedback. Who cares about it? Because somebody said it once before. Oh, I don't care about feedback. People make a big thing about it. Feedback's important. Feedback's important. Matter of fact, I remember Lee Maribel from eBay Radio had a conversation with Griff on it. It was a live show, and she said the same thing to him, and he said, she goes, I always check the person's feedback before I make a purchase. He goes, really? He goes, you check it? She goes, yeah. She goes, I think it's very important. She even said it. Okay, so it is what it is. Some people may beg to differ with it and say, well, I disagree. I agree to disagree, and that's okay. You're more than welcome to. We all have our own opinions, how we look at business or how we conduct business, and that's your prerogative. That is. But reviews are very important, now, especially if you're an Amazon seller. Now, I think I did one in the past, a while back. I did a reseller news, and they were talking about, about reviews, how important reviews are, especially if you're an Amazon seller. Okay, so it does play a role, folks, in it. But anyway, I don't want to expand too much on this topic. I just want to throw that little blurb out there for you guys, and just remember one thing in regards to the good to cancel. I know that keeps coming up every now and then. I use my virtual assistant. It's Katana. That's from the. If you have Windows 10 operating system, you could use Katana, the virtual assistant. You got to make sure you got a mic enabled because it's got to talk to you. You got to communicate with it, and it saved me money yesterday, folks. It actually saved me money. Believe it or not, you might be saying, how so? I went on to Katana, and I said, Katana, I need a reminder. And she's like, okay, what can I remind you? What do you want to be reminded of? And I said, at 6 p.m., please remind me to update my eBay listings. And she said, okay, at 6 o'clock, I will remind you to update your eBay listings. And, it came up, it didn't come up audible, it came up on a screen. It popped up on a screen. I don't know if it would come up audible. It would be nice if we could do that too, but I guess it doesn't really matter. But anyway, it popped up on a screen, and I was getting so engrossed doing stuff and working on my YouTube business, channel, and doing the eBay research. I was working on my laptop, and my laptop set over there. Then I get messages from on my iPad and my iPhone, and I got distracted. So all of a sudden, I see a message pop up and said in there, reminder, don't forget to update your eBay listings. And man, let me tell you, I caught it by within minutes. I had, I think, either 3 or 4 of them that were going to go. They were good. Well, they're 30 days, but now everything, as you know, is being ported over to good to cancel. I would end up paying that money again. You say, well, if it's only 4, I don't want to spend any additional money. That's just it. I don't want to spend any additional money. I want to list my items on my terms. Okay. Now, if you have a stale products that are not doing anything, I have items that have been laying around for a year. I haven't been doing any sourcing. I mean, I did sourcing recently, but I don't source every day. And the only reason why I did go source, because I remember you saying you're not going to do a sourcing, is because they had 50% off, and I was just browsing around a thrift store, and I came across these 2 Rock Band Harmonix guitars, the Beatle guitars. And I love those things. I love selling those things. I mean, you know, I get them in good condition. They were pretty good condition. I just sent the last one out today. And yes, on occasion, I will, you know, if they had the 50% off. And that's not all the time. It's once in a while they have it. Then I will take a look. I'll take it. It doesn't necessarily mean I'm going to buy it. I went in there when they had 50% off sales, and I didn't buy anything. I came out with nothing, 0. Because first, I don't want to spend the money. And number 2, I have stuff, inventory I want to get rid of. Okay, some of the stuff I'm going to have to replenish, not replenish it again. I'm going to have to, revise it or donate a lot of it to my church. Okay, so right now I think I have, either 9 or 10 items that bumped off. I ended them. I ended the listings because I said I don't want those particular items to refresh and go back again to go to cancel. Okay, now I know eBay's mindset is reading about it on the blog sites and the eBay community chat boards. With eBay, they look at it this way. With the good to cancel, they feel it gets more exposure. Okay, the longer it sits there, you have a better opportunity to making a sale. Not all the time. I'm speaking on my own behalf. It doesn't always work that way. Okay, I'm being upfront and honest with you. And for people who follow me on my channel, they know I don't sugarcoat anything. I sugarcoat anything. I tell it just like it is. I'm not going to sit here and lie to you. I'm not going to come out and make a YouTube video just to get, to gain exposure, which I want exposure on my channel, and to gain subscribers because I want to keep you coming back. I'm telling it like it is, folks. Although I want all of that, I do want to get the exposure. I do want more subscribers. The more the merrier, I say, because the more people subscribe to my channel, the more we'll both learn. It's a learning experience on both ends. But yeah, that's the way they look at it. That's their logic. Okay, but if they understand one thing, with that logic like that, it costs people money. Now, if you have slow sales or no sales, and you're making, you just did a whole relisting of, let's say, if you have 400 or 500 items, and they're all auto renewed, you realize the bill you're gonna have at the end of the month. I can't fathom the idea of people having the people that have thousands of listings. I was on one, oh my God, I was on eBay and I was looking at this person's. I think they had I don't know if they had 20,000 listings. I don't remember. So people ask me, do you know what it was? I don't remember. I can't remember offhand. All I know is I was doing research and I came across this person's channel, listing, eBay listings, and I looked. I said, "Holy smokes! You must have an entourage of people working because I couldn't fathom that. I'm a one-man band. Okay, I'm a one-man band here, folks. Just to let you know, I couldn't fathom having all that there. And could you imagine? I'm not saying he's going to have all 20,000 listings. He's probably making a lot of cash too, from what I've seen. He also had thousands of sales too. So I'm just saying, but could you imagine a mediocre person like me? Let's say I had 500 items, and I only sold so many of them, and a lot of those had to renew. That's a big bill at the end of the month. For me, it is. Okay, but I understand the logic. Now, when I went to college for business, our marketing class was. This is how it was. Back in the day when I was starting a mail order business. I was looking for advertising revenues. I didn't know which way to go. Do advertising your local paper, your penny saver, and all that other stuff. So I decided to check out and throw my hat into the ring with magazines. Now, anybody will tell you, when I was learning, my college professor was talking about back then, when you advertise in a magazine, I was advertising at the time English leather, I think it was 5-piece or 7-piece luggage set, whatever. It was folded, it was nylon. And people were buying them. They were buying them, believe it or not, folks. It came in a little package, but when you take it out, you get your garment bag, this, that, and the other thing. It was very light, portable, and you could fit like this, but they were nylon, Anyway, people were buying them, although it didn't make a great profit. So eventually, when the time came and we had things come up, you get married, you got to save money, and so on and so forth. Long story short, the premise behind it was when you advertise in a magazine. Now this was 17 magazine, okay. This particular item geared towards younger crowd, right? So their logic is that, like what the professor was saying, is that when they get a magazine, it stays there for a whole month. So where will those magazines end up? The dentist office, the doctor's office. If you're in a waiting room or whatever, or if you, for let's say young teenagers, they buy, it's 17 usually for girls magazines, as far as I know. They buy it and they pass it off to the next run. Oh, did you get 17's the new issue of 17 magazine? Oh yeah, you don't want one? Yeah, and they give it to them and they keep passing it on. The thing is, you get a month's exposure. But the difference with the month's exposure is, unless you're going to subscribe, which I didn't subscribe, I don't subscribe to magazines because, like I said again, I'm very conservative. That's what happens in the case. Once the thing's over, it's over. You buy your magazine. I bought it to want to see my description in my ad. It was nice. It looked good. I did my own photo work. I sent it out to the publisher, and they took care of it, and it was great. Yeah, that little clipping back there, about this big, about yay big, right? It cost $795 for that, but it lasted for the month. Okay, so you gotta understand, it had a month duration of exposure. Okay, and it was a popular magazine. I think, as far as I know, I think they still have 17 magazine. It lasted that long, and that's how I was making the sales. Believe it or not, that's where all my sales were coming from that little description, that little ad in there. It cost me $795, but I don't know what it would cost now. This is back in the 80s now, folks. We're talking 2019 here. So that little ad that was $795 back then is probably over $1,000 or better, I would think, unless they had a discount day or they give me a half off. I doubt it. But that's where all these sales were coming in from. And I would get checks in the mail, and sometimes, believe it or not, and that sounds crazy, people would send cash in the envelope. I was like, oh my God! Thank God it got, because you got to worry about things like that getting stolen or lost or whatever. People send cash in there. I was just lucky it worked out that way. It would go to my P.O. box. I check my P.O. box every morning. I'd go there and I'd have, I'd look at it. It's like, oh, well, I made some more business, get more sales. I'm making more sales. But that's the thing. Okay, so I understand eBay's logic like that, but they also understand the 30-day listing was good enough for me. I mean, if they kept it like that every 30 days, it drops off, it goes into your unsold folder, and it sits there. And you can, if you choose to do so, you could relist it again if you want, on your terms, not theirs, yours. Okay. Now I have the starter store. I get 100 free listings a month. Okay. What I'm going to do to counteract that there is I have no choice. Okay. I have no choice. We all don't. Buy it now and fixed prices. They are going, once those drop off, those 30-day listings drop off, it's going to all go to good to cancel. Okay. So now what I have to do to be one step ahead of the game, I got to keep, if I'm working on something else, I'm going to keep up my eBay things. I got to look at all the days. If it's days, like if I have like 14 days, I got to worry about the ones I could say one day or so many 8 hours or 6 hours. I got to keep a little thing there, a little split screen, and look at it and monitor it. Or, which most likely I'm going to use Cortana, my virtual assistant, to remind me and say, hey, you got to change it. Or I could use it on a pad. Just write down. Oh, check it today. You got to check your eBay listings, or else they're going to go off. Auto renew. I could do it that way too. But all I know is I got now because of this, I got to keep an eye on it now. All right. And as far as I know, from what I was told by the teammate, that if you do end your listings with the good to cancel, you should not get any problems. There should be no repercussions with that. As far as like, it's going to affect my seller performance because I ended a listing. That's what they told me. That's what the teammate told me. Now, I'm just repeating what they told me. Now, if you want to clarify it and verify it for yourself, and you call up and you get a different answer, and you know something? It wouldn't surprise me, because I had a couple occasions where I spoke to one teammate about one issue, and the second time I called up, they gave me a whole different story, information from the first teammate told me. It was two total opposites of what I was told. So it's a possibility. All right, so if that is be it the case, then don't take it out on me. Talk to them. I'm just repeating what I called up this today. I called up about, I don't know, maybe around 12 in the afternoon, inquiring about that, because somebody wrote in one of the community chats there, oh, this may it says some sellers afraid or fear that they may get penalized if they end their auctions early with the goods are canceled. And this person said no, that's not the case. So that's it, folks. I just wanted to touch bases with you guys. Just to give you a little recap on myself, for those who are new, recent subscribers, I just want to say thank you very much for subscribing. I really do appreciate it. I hope you get a takeaway and you learn something from my YouTube channel and the stuff I put out there, the content I put out. This channel, for all intents and purposes, folks, is to help, inspire, and share. Okay, I'm not here to make derogative remarks about any company or anybody in particular. I don't do things like that. My channel is a clean, it's a clean content channel. I don't discuss religion or politics, and I do not use profanity on my channel. So if you want a clean content channel and you want to get the straight talk from me, that's it. I'm the one sitting behind this webcam, and I'm the one that puts the content out. So I'm not, I don't have any script, I'm not scripted by anybody, or I don't work with a team. I am the team. Me, myself, and I. All three of us, we work together. We're all in unison, right? We work together. No, seriously, I don't have a team. Like sometimes you hear, you'll hear some of these YouTube guys. Well, some of them, became successful, whatever. I think so. And they'll say, "Oh, I got my team that's working with me." Oh, I got a group of people. I hired people to work with me. I don't have anybody. I didn't hire anybody. First of all, I couldn't afford to hire anybody anyway. And I don't mind writing my own information and scripting my own stuff. I got a notebook over here. I go through a daily process where I get my Google alerts. I look at the stuff that's coming in, and I get a lot of emails from different sources. And I don't know which ones to pick and choose, but I pick the ones I think that may be of interest to you and to me. So when I post stuff up, that's why I said in my other videos too. I'll say sometimes we're both learning. I'll say, "Oh, I didn't know that. I wasn't aware of that there." And even when I'm doing the reseller news, it's because you know what it is? Most likely, when I get the stuff, I want to get it out really quick. I might read it really quick or just get a brief look at it and pop it up there. And then when I'm going through the format, reading something or expanding on the topics, that's when I say, "Oh, I didn't know about that there." We're both learning. And then we are. It's a learning experience on both. When I do the reseller news, I'm putting this content here. You're learning and I'm learning. These are things I didn't know about. And that's why I said, if you are a seller on any of the e-commerce platforms, eBay, Amazon, Etsy, Poshmark, whatever, they're all interrelate anyway. Let's say it's all e-commerce. So when I put that stuff out there, it's for something. It's for all of us to, divulge in and learn from. Hopefully, And like I always say, if I get 1% or a small percentage of people that get a takeaway from it, you don't have to comment and say, "Hey, Rich, thanks a lot." If you want to drop me a comment, that's good. At least it lets me know I'm doing something right, and that you guys enjoy the content, or you like me as an individual. I hope, and that just gives me a heads up saying, "Hey, you know what? These people like the content. They like the information I'm providing for them." It takes me a long time to do this stuff, folks. I want you to know that. There, I mean, I go out of my way, take time out of my day to do this stuff and do research and stuff like that. Now, it might not look like a lot, but it is. You don't know what's going on behind the scene. Okay, behind the scenes is a lot going on here, outside of doing my research for the eBay business as well. But I'm doing a lot of other research as well too. And when I get this stuff, and I feel it's viable and it's going to be helpful to you as an individual, if you're an eBay seller, whatever, I'm going to share it with you. I'm going to share it, and that's what this whole channel is all about: help, inspire, and share. And that's what I aim to do. And that's why I said, if you are, like I said, if you do, like the content. In closing, I just want to say, please don't forget to hit that subscribe button, like, comment, and share. And if you want to be updated as to when I post new videos, please hit that bell notification icon. That's the only way you're going to get updated. And also, if there is anything that you want me to talk about, or you want me to expand on a specific topic or something, or you need help with something, please don't hesitate to message me or drop a comment below, whatever. I got my email address in my link, within the links in there. You'll see it. You could send me a personal email. I don't care. It's not going to bother me. If I could help you guys out, that's all that matters. That makes a whole world of a difference to me. Anyway, this is Rich Pasini signing off. Have a great day. Until next time, bye-bye.